Hey gang, welcome back to the Sales Differentiation Minute. If you've read my books, you know I'm a competitive powerlifter. I compete in the bench press. Well, on December 31st of 2017, I was training in the gym, getting ready for the Minnesota State bench press tournament that was just a few months out. Feeling great, on track, and I was getting ready to set some new state records at that meet. Then, with no warning, pop! Felt like a huge rubber band snapped in my left elbow. I'd never had this type of injury, but I knew what I did. I ruptured my left triceps. Drove myself to the sports orthopedics emergency room, but remember, New Year's Eve day. Services they offer were limited. All they could do was take an x-ray, no MRI, so they just sent me home in a sling. Now, interestingly, the moment I felt the pop, the pain was brutal. But within minutes, the pain subsided. I knew there was something seriously wrong, but the pain was livable. So New Year's Day, of course, couldn't get anything done. Everything was closed. On January 2nd, I flew to a client to deliver a 3-day sales differentiation strategy development program. So I come back from the trip, have the MRI, and 2 days later I have a doctor's appointment to go over the results. And as I'm sitting in the waiting room thinking about what's happening next, I knew surgery was highly likely, but my schedule was packed. I had keynotes, workshops, consulting, just booked solid for the next 6 weeks. And since I wasn't in pain, I said, if there's going to be surgery, I'll do it at the end of February. So a doctor comes into the examining room, very somber look on his face. He confirmed what I already knew. I ruptured my triceps and needed surgery. So I said, why don't we do this end of February? And he looks at me and he says, I'll see you on Monday. Well, which Monday? He says, I'll see you this Monday. That really doesn't work for me. I've got a pretty busy schedule for the next 6 weeks. Let's look at end of February. So doctor leans back in his chair and he says, Lee, here's what you may not recognize. I know you're not in a lot of pain right now, but your left tricep sitting up here, balled up the top of your shoulder. And we've got a small amount of time to reattach it at the elbow, and that clock's ticking. Would you like to be able to use your left arm again? My jaw hit the floor. I had no idea that there was such a strong sense of urgency to resolve this issue. I perceived the issue as an inconvenience, but the doctor educated me, helped me realize that this is a problem, not an inconvenience. Something had to be done now. Because I trusted him, knew he had an expertise in the subject, I changed my perspective and was in the operating room that Monday. Well, as salespeople, we encounter prospects who perceive issues as inconveniences, but because of our expertise, we know their problems, meaning they've got to do something now. And similar to the doctor, we have an obligation to help them see what we see. We have an expertise in our arena that they don't. Well, as sales professionals, if we fail to have that conversation, we're guilty of sales malpractice. We need to help them recognize these aren't nuisances. They need to do something about this now. So, coming back to my story, I was told this injury was the end of my powerlifting career. Well, I proved the medical profession wrong. I came back and won the 2021 Minnesota State bench press competition. Remember, don't just sell different.